How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Just the Ways podcast. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm your host, Daniel.
And today we are doing a podcast. Okay, so we are here with our friend, Hina Sabatine.
That's me.
You guys may know them as Astrology on TikTok.
Yes, gay.
Comedy skits. A lot of skits with Austin.
Yes.
And most of all, reality star, show star.
Is that what I'm known for in these streets?
Well,
Also teaching languages.
Oh, yeah.
also knowing about just about everything that goes on in this world.
Oh, stop it. You guys are too nice.
Also, one of our bestest friends.
Aww.
So we're so happy to have you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, my Japanese brothers.
Can you give like a little like what you do on social media?
Well, I go on that app and I just post it.
Nice.
No, I'm kidding. I make comedy skit videos about being a lesbian, and I make a lot of astrology. I mean, you kind of just hit it all already.
Did I?
I don't really do anything more profound than that. I just go on there and be silly and then hope for the best.
So we actually met Hina through TikTok.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hina was awarded the API Trailblazer Award.
We were awarded.
We were all awarded the API Trailblazer Award
That's
for
right.
2022. Basically showcasing Asian Americans on TikTok that are blazing trails.
We blaze those trails.
We blazed them.
And I've never been on a hike. So that was new for me.
So how'd you get your start? Like, when did you start social media?
So I used to be in the music industry prior to working as a TikTok creator. And I was trying to convince my artists, because at the time it was like Doja Cat Say So was blowing up, and like Curtis Waters' Stunnin' was blowing up. And so I was seeing like all these music stars like blowing up and becoming like the next thing on TikTok. So I was telling my artists like, girl, you got to start posting on here, because this is how you're going to, it's free advertising.
Right.
Like, hello. So then basically after that, she was like, I don't know, TikTok is for kids. And I was like, no, like it's cool. Like there's lots of things going on in here. And then basically I was like, okay, well, if I go viral, then you have to post something. Like that was like a deal we made. And then so the first video I made after that deal went viral.
Wow.
And it was a video of me speaking 7 languages in like 60 seconds. And then, yeah.
Fun fact.
Oh my gosh.
Hina can speak 7 languages.
In 60 seconds. And then, yeah,
That's
so then
crazy.
went viral. And then I was like, okay, girl, post your thing. And then she was like, I don't know. Like, I still don't know. And I was like, okay, so I went viral for nothing. But then I liked making videos so much that I'd be like, I'd work all day. And then at night I would be like, okay, well now it's my time to make videos. So I would like make little videos, and then I would like post them and at like 4 a.m, and then just hope that they did something. And then I just became obsessed with it. And then at one point I had like a really big disagreement with my artist, and I was like, you know what? I have good ideas.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it on myself.
Yeah.
So I just quit my job, and then I was living off that stimmy check at the time. So I got a studio apartment in Hollywood, and then I was like, I'm just going to really try to do this influencer thing for a little bit and see if I can make any money doing it.
Wow.
And now, welcome to my crib.
Now you're here.
Now I'm here.
It's crazy that you started by proving to someone that you can go viral.
Yeah, it was like my pride, really. I'm a Leo. So I was like, okay, if you think I can't do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the artist still making music today?
No, she's not.
Dang.
So good
You
thing
try to save her.
I tried to save her, but not everyone wants to be saved, as J. Cole once said.
So when you first came to LA,
Yeah.
because you originally lived in,
I lived in San Francisco before.
okay.
Yeah.
And then before that it was Hawaii.
Yes.
And then before that it was
Japan. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Just making my way across the Pacific, really.
what's been like your favorite place to live so far?
Well, like Japan, obviously. But like if we're taking away like where I'm from.
Yeah.
I obviously really loved Hawaii, but it was like, you know, when you live on an island and like, especially as a gay person, there's like 10 gay people, and then you're like, okay, well, I've dated them all, I'm running out of options. And then you're like, okay, well, I gotta go. It was just like such a small community, and like that's what makes it so great. But at the same time, I was like, I need to know more people, and I knew I wanted to work in a creative industry, and like there's nothing to do out there. I used to live also in Paris, and I lived in Germany for a little bit. I lived in Spain for a little bit. So I would say like my favorite place to live was probably, I really like Germany.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Germany's really beautiful, and like it's so green, and you get all 4 seasons, and like I've never really lived in a seasonal place.
Right.
Because even California, it's like we have the seasons, but it's not really.
Yeah.
But like the blizzards a lot of people hated them, and I'm like, this is lit. Like, this is awesome. Like, I couldn't wait to like just be inside all day, and then no one can tell me I can't just sit there and play video games because it's freezing. And I was like, this is awesome. So I really like, and the summer was so beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah. In spring, like when like everything defrosts and then there's like flowers poking up everywhere. It's so gorgeous.
And it's like not like here.
No.
Here
And
it's just like either like really hot.
really hot or really cold.
Yeah.
How's the food in Germany?
Food. So I'm vegan.
Right.
So like the vegan food is unreal. It's
Really?
phenomenal. Yeah, it's really good. Like of all the places I've ever lived, Germany has the best vegan food, and I'll die on that hill. Yeah, it is
Wow.
so
That's
good.
saying a lot.
There's this place in Berlin called Kops, or maybe it's Kop singular, like KOPP, I think. And they had this changed my life. It was like this egg salad, but it was vegan.
Yeah.
And they like made egg texture. I was so
Whoa.
blown away. I went to culinary school because I had this salad. I was like, I got to figure out how they're doing this. Like, I need to figure out how they're cooking in there.
Yeah.
So then I went to culinary school because I wanted to figure it out. They didn't teach me how to do that, but I did learn how I could recreate it. Yeah.
Do you feel like the vegan food here is not good, or do you think it's better than?
It's kind of like all the same thing in like different fonts. It's like we have like a vegan nacho, we have a vegan taco,
Right.
but like it's not like, let me make this like crazy thing. Like people in Germany, they made a beef tartare.
What?
Vegan. Yeah.
What is that? Like, what is it then?
So I learned how to make it actually. And they would use all these like gastronomical techniques. Like there's
Yeah.
this thing called spherification. And they made a mango yogurt, like a Greek yogurt, like a vegan Greek yogurt, mango yolk that they spherified. So it looks just like a floating little egg sphere. Like, you know, like the yolky part, just that part. And then they put it over beets that were kind of cut in a way that looks like ground meat.
Wow.
And then and I don't even know how to like really explain
That's
it. And
crazy.
Then it really, like when you're looking at it first glance, like you're like, it's really red, but like that looks like beef tartare.
Yeah.
And they were just doing like the craziest things out there with their food. And like here, it's not so gastronomical. It's more like what's going to taste good and what's going to be yummy, which I love also, but it's just not the same.
So let's get into like your early childhood.
Okay.
So I know you're considered to be like a real clone. So what is it like to be a real life clone?
Yes. It has its own trials and tribulations, you know, being a clone is like, it is hard sometimes because you're never going to be original or unique. But my sister, who is my clone, I look at her and I'm like, well, if I'm your clone, then it's okay. You know,
But technically you're the original, right? 'Cause
I am the original.
she's the clone.
She's the clone. Yeah. But like, because she's the clone of me, I am a clone, right?
Yeah.
Or am I not a clone and she's just
she's the clone.
she's the clone. So I'm not even a clone.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
You're going
not
to take that away from me right now on a podcast.
So basically,
Okay.
you guys are 2 years apart.
4 years.
4 years apart.
Yeah.
But you are actually the same.
We were
age.
made in a lab. Yes, we are the same age. We were made in a lab. It was a fateful day in 1992, I think. No, 1995. 1992, Jesus Christ. I'm aging myself. 1995. And, you know, the scientists were busy at work using the single batch that my father had given them. And, you know, we were just made that day in a petri dish.
Just your sister came out 4 years later.
We were separated that day in the dish. And I always felt like a part of me was missing, you know, like I remember being in that dish with her.
Right.
And I remember looking at her in the cell eye and I said, I'll see you later. And
See you in
said,
4 years.
Yeah, see you in 4 years. And then we went into the freezer and it was black after that for a long time. And then I woke up one day and I was 5. So yeah, it's hard, you know.
Do you feel?
Yeah.
Do you feel like a special connection you have with your sister?
My sister and I are like, I honestly feel like we have a telepathy.
Yeah.
Like, so my sister, like, so it's a good example of like, if she's about to cry or like, without even looking at her, I know she's about to cry and then I'll start crying. What? And I'll know why she's crying.
Without her saying anything?
What?
Without her saying anything. I won't even have to know she's crying. I'll just feel the urge to cry all of a sudden.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And she's pretty much the only person who I like regularly empathically cried with. Because like most people, if they cry around me, I'm like, I don't know what to do. But with my sister, when she cries, I'm like, it's happening. I have no control over it. It's just like I just start crying.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's probably goes all
Because
the way
we're
back to the
clones.
To the petri dish.
Yeah.
It goes back to the pact we made that day in that dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah. Do you guys feel like your lives would have been different if you were in a dish together at some point?
I guess it would be.
Yeah. It
I would
seems
know
like
when you're crying,
Right.
like what you're crying about.
Yeah.
we definitely have more of like
You would hug often, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Ryan and Daniel don't hug. They hugged actually yesterday. I saw it 2 days ago.
Let's put it this way. Ryan doesn't hug Daniel.
That's true.
Oh, hey.
Ryan he'll hug everyone but his own brother. And that's just on the Emotos.
I just feel like, don't you feel that as like, I'm sure there's people out there
As a
that are
brother?
older siblings that are just kind of like, nah.
I
Like,
squeeze the hell out of my siblings.
Well,
I'm
you
like,
got-
come here, you little clone. Yeah.
you're right. We hugged yesterday though,
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Did you
Well-
hug again yesterday that I don't know about?
No.
I
You
need
sure?
to document every time.
Oh, fun story, really fast. Oh, I'll tell
Yeah.
you. So yesterday night we went to this Japanese restaurant.
Period.
Eating great food. We'll take
Okay.
you there.
Gorgeous.
And all of a sudden, I felt my lip was getting kind of swollen.
You're allergic.
Yeah. So then I was like, "Soy, like something feels funny, right?" And then they look at my lips and they, "Oh my gosh, your lip is huge." So then
Why
I'm
are you
like,
getting
"Daniel, do you have an
plumper?
EpiPen with you?" Because you know how Daniel has
Yeah.
EpiPens with him usually. He's like, "No." And I'm
The one time I didn't bring it.
so I'm stuck at this restaurant, right? And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh no, like stay calm, but like you're gonna have to get something. Like you're gonna have to leave. So I'm like, Dan, I think we better get like some kind of medicine. So Dan's like, okay, I'll go get it. And then Dan runs to the car, and I'm like, oh wait, I probably should like go with him to pick out the medicine. And I'm like, hey, stop the car, let me go in. So we go in the car, we drive to Rite Aid,
I'm pushing like 60 down like a 25 zone.
and my lip is like getting bigger and bigger, right?
Oh my God.
And
Is your
then-
airway fine?
I don't know.
I feel like you were breathing kind of hard like
Well, yeah, I didn't really want to think about it because
This is yesterday?
This was just last night.
last night.
So
and you're here today?
yeah,
I'm looking at your lips
I
like,
run into Rite Aid, right?
Okay.
We get Benadryl.
Yeah.
They have children Benadryl, and obviously I'm not a child.
but you have to make do.
Yeah, so like I get the bottle, right? And I'm just ripping the bottle up in the middle of Rite Aid, and I'm just pouring as much as I can. I'm just taking it, right?
How are you ODing on children's Benadryl?
Don't do this. I mean,
Don't do that.
obviously, yeah, it's bad, but I needed to do something,
Right.
And then, yeah, it kicked in. But you know, with Benadryl, it makes you really tired.
Yeah.
And I took like so much Benadryl. Like I drank Benadryl.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like
It said like take like what is that 10 milliliters or whatever.
yeah, we don't need to say how much I took, but it was a lot.
So you were hallucinating.
Yeah. So last night,
I told you can hallucinate on Benadryl.
yeah, and let me tell you, I did.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm
So
finally not
so
alone.
I got so tired, right?
Yeah.
And like Soy and Ashley are over.
But because so you're not sleeping, so you're pushing through it,
Right,
right?
I'm pushing through.
And then you start seeing everything.
And then yeah, so we go back to Rite Aid later, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, gosh, I'm getting tired, guys. And I thought if I got ice cream, I'd have some energy.
What would make you think that after 2 days ago you ate sugar and then you turned into a grandpa faster than
I think he just really wanted ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I get the ice cream, does nothing. I go back to our house, and you know, I'm like kind of dozing off, and all of a sudden, everyone's talking, and apparently, I said to them, "Guys, George Clooney is getting married tomorrow."
Yeah, so we're just
You're
playing
hallucinating about George Clooney.
Yeah, we're literally just playing like iPhone games and like just like laughing. And then Ryan goes, "Whoa, George Clooney's getting married tomorrow?" And then we're like, "Whoa."
Oh my God. I wish I had your hallucinations. That's tea.
So I don't know what happened, but I started saying
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Well, for some reason, drowsy medication doesn't put me to sleep.
What does it do?
It makes me hallucinate. Like anytime I've taken like a Benadryl or anything like that, like most people, when they hit that wave of like, okay, I'm drowsy now, they can just go to sleep. For some reason, my brain is like, we're not going to sleep. We can't do it. So I just sit there through the drowsiness. I know I'm tired. I know I want to sleep, but if I close my eyes, I don't sleep. I just sit there with my eyes closed, which is
Yeah.
silly. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I start seeing things. Like one time I saw, I took a Benadryl, had to go to work, and I was on the metro on my way to work, and I started seeing cats outside of the window of the metro. And I'm like, holy shoot, that is like, because I thought the cats were going to die because they're outside.
Yeah.
And then I was like, holy shit. And like, I look crazy on the metro, but I'm like, I can't help myself. I'm like, and then like, there's like a lady sitting next to me, and then she's like, "Are you okay, hon?" And I'm like, "There's cats."
There's cats.
Oh my God. And then so I get to work, right? And like I worked in a kitchen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I have to go cook and hallucinate at the same time. I kept thinking I was like cutting my thumb off. Like it was
Oh
really
my
crazy. And then I
gosh.
was like thinking like, don't cut your thumb off. Don't cut your thumb off. I was losing my mind. So now I don't take anything that can make you drowsy.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
freaky.
We should do a podcast where we all take Benadryl.
It's going to be like one of those like doing weed for the first time videos.
It's just like George Clooney and cats the whole time.
Literally. I'm not even like a cat person.
I know you're not.
So it's like, that's weird. Why am I seeing them?
So you're on the metro acting crazy.
Yeah. This actually reminds me of this time. Sidebar.
Yeah.
I accidentally drank a bunch of absinthe one time. I was in Iceland. No, Copenhagen. I was in Copenhagen and I was there for like a weekend, and me and my friend were like, there's like this meatpacking district area, which our Airbnb host had like recommended to us. So they were like, oh, go check it out. So we went there, and I normally, when I go to a different country, I'm like, just give me like your most popular drink, right?
Yeah.
Because I just want to try something new.
Yeah.
So I go over there. I'm like, hey, just give me your best.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
As one does.
Yeah. Give me your like osusume, you know, your recommendation. So then they give me their recommendation. It's super delicious. It's
Okay.
like, I'm like, wow, what is this? Because like at the time I didn't know that tequila was the only liquor that really agrees with me. So I was just drinking like, I was like, whatever, like this could be vodka. Like, I don't know. So then like I keep asking for more. I was like, give me another one, give me another one. And unfortunately I was blessed and cursed with like a high alcohol tolerance. So I can drink like 4 of them fine. And I'm like not even feeling like I'm anything. So anyway, I have like 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then I have to like get up to pee, break the seal, and I go to the bathroom, and the mirror in the bathroom had like these like shells all around the mirror.
Okay.
And I went there, and I'm like standing there in front of the mirror, and I'm like seeing the shells move, and I'm like, oh no, not this. And I'm like seeing the shells like literally they're like going like this. And I at first I was like, that's a really cool mirror, because I thought it was just everyone. But then I started realizing, like I started looking at the sink and like looking around, and I'm like, things are moving, and I don't think that they should be. And like I've never felt that kind of drunk before. So I go back up to the bar. I'm like, hey, what was in this stuff? And he's like, it's absinthe. And I was like, really good, really awesome. So then I was like, I turned my friend, I'm like, girl, we gotta go.
Yeah.
She's like, why? I'm like, we've been drinking absinthe. She gets up, and we're both drunk on absinthe. And we have to take like an hour metro back to our
my
Airbnb.
gosh.
And on the metro back, we are like, everything she sees, I'm seeing. She's like, did you hear that? I'm like, I did. What? Like, it was so crazy.
The cats.
Yeah, I didn't see cats that time, but that would have
That's
been
scary.
That's so
Yeah.
scary. So Hina, what is
Sorry,
the
Zach.
craziest fact you know?
You know how we're like the older siblings?
Yeah.
When we were in there, we left a trace of our DNA, like some like of our old tissue and cell matter in there. So that way when other babies are in the same womb, they know that a sibling has been there before, which is why an older sibling is like quintessentially like the older sibling. And that it's hard to imagine like the younger one being the older one, because the younger one was in that womb being like, my brother was here before me. I am baby.
Wow.
The younger sibling knows when they're in the womb.
Yeah, that there
someone's
is
been-
another baby there before
It's
them.
like the older sibling mark the territory.
Yeah.
And like, I'm the alpha.
We are the alpha.
It's like dogs
Yeah.
marking their territory.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you feel like, can you imagine being the older one?
No, I actually can't. I feel like it's like, I don't know, like the role switch. I don't think that would work.
Yeah. I mean, Ryan is so quintessentially like,
Older?
I mean, sometimes I forget that you're younger than me.
Really?
Like, I literally look at you and I'm like, that's
That's old man.
my older.
That's what
he's
Sway
my older
says.
friend.
You're so old.
Well, I feel like sometimes it's like the way that like you hold things.
Like my phone right now.
Yeah,
With
it's
your
like
hands?
this, or like you'll like do this like stance sometimes where you're looking at you hold your phone with 2 hands like most of the time is what I realized. And that quintessentially is like giving a different age.
Senior
hold.
citizen.
It's giving like, and then you kind of like,
Like,
hold it. You hold it like, can I demonstrate?
Yeah.
You hold it like this, and you're kind of holding it like in this like cupped thing, and you're like this, and I'm like that, Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's first womb.
that's first womb behavior.
Yeah.
But I guess you're also first womb and you don't
I
do
am
that.
first womb. I think that's what we should be referring to ourselves as now. We're not the oldest, we're the first womb.
First womb.
First
Team
womb.
first womb. First womb? I can't even speak right now. The Benadryl's still in me.
Not that.
No, I'm serious. I think it is. I noticed like today
We're gonna get really weird.
when I
Stay
feel like
tuned.
I'm really hungover. When you drink a
Really?
lot.
Yeah. Ryan doesn't drink, everybody.
So that's why when I
Sober
drink
King.
that Benadryl, It's like really messing me up.
Yeah. No, I can't believe you drank so much. I warned you literally 2 days ago about Benadryl.
know.
I
Isn't that
literally
crazy?
I literally told them about my Benadryl story 2 days ago, and here they are not listening to me.
It was life or death. I needed to do it.
So what are you allergic to?
That's what's so scary is I don't know.
You should go do a panel.
I better, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might have been shellfish, and I'm slowly developing an allergy to shellfish. Because I
That's
had
a
shrimp.
really intense allergy. Not the peanut shellfish combo.
I know. Before you know, we're only going to be able to eat like at Subway or something.
Oh
you know?
my god.
Don't say that.
Okay, so Hina, you were on the HBO Max show called 12 Dates of Christmas, and basically you won the show.
Yeah.
Winning meaning like you found love
We
temporarily.
found love in
And-
a hope of space.
How did you get on the show? Like, what was the process like?
Girl, so I was like I was making TikToks at the time, and I made this video about how I was gonna come out to my parents, but like I was confused how they didn't know I was gay because of like the way I dress and the way I act. So a casting producer found me on like via that video and then DM'd me on Instagram and was like, hey, do you want to apply for this show? And I was like, sure. Like at the time, like my stimmy checks were running out, right?
Yeah.
So, and I wasn't really making money from TikTok yet at that point.
Okay.
Like for real, I was making like a couple $100 a month.
You're on that creator fund.
I was on that, yeah. I was on the creator fund. So I was like, girl, I gotta do anything to make this bread. So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I applied to be on the show. I went through like several rounds of interviews, and immediately like it was just very clear that I was gonna be on it.
Yeah.
And then that was basically how I got on there.
And it was during COVID, right? So you would have to quarantine
Yeah.
for how many months before the show even started?
So it was because of COVID, there were like all these regulations for cast. So like, for example, we got there, we were held in like this one hotel, and everyone had to be in there for at least a week. And then after the week, like because the show's format was like there's only 3 love interests in the house at any given moment, like 3 for each person, and then they had like 10 people come in,
right?
I think more. But then until it was your time to come in, you were in the hotel. So some people were in there for I think like 30 days or something like that. Like just
crazy.
And you were completely isolated. Like you were in a room, in a hotel room. You're being paid.
Yeah.
You're just completely isolated by yourself. You get 1 walk a day. You can't even go get your own food. You can't go outside. There's no balcony. Like you're literally just in this room.
And they took away your phone, right?
No, you don't. You still have your phone when you're in the hotel, but as soon as you leave, your phone's gone.
Wow.
Yeah. It was crazy. I mean, I was only in there for 2 weeks, and like I think I lost like 6 pounds in like 2 weeks because I just wasn't eating enough, and I kept requesting food and they wouldn't give it to me. Like at some point, like I ate an entire jar of peanut butter, like the low fat Skippy one, and I reduced fat Skippy. It's actually my favorite peanut butter. But I ate like the entire jar because I was so hungry.
Wait, so you would request food and they wouldn't give it to you?
Well, there was so many of us. There was like at some point, I think there was like 30 plus of us, and there was only like 6 or 7 like talent wranglers, and like half of them were taking walks with people because of our 1 walk a day, and you can't walk by yourself, so you have to be escorted as you walk.
Why would you not be able to walk by yourself? That's so weird.
I think it's a safety thing. I think it's like they want to,
like they've invested so much into you, like
right, like we flew you here, et cetera,
Wow.
So yeah. It would take like 3 days for your request to come in sometimes. Like I would order like celery and peanut butter, and it'd be like 3 days later.
What?
And I'd like check on it like 6 times. I'm like, where's my celery and peanut butter? It's like literally I'm just like wanting a vegetable.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah,
So-
but when we went into the house, the food was lit.
Was it?
Yeah, it was
Did
lit.
they like have a chef come in and cook?
No,
food?
no, girl, no. We had to cook our own lunches, I believe. But then breakfast, like in the morning, you get woken up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then a producer comes in and it's like, time to order breakfast. And then we all put in our breakfast order, and it's like basically someone I think goes to pick it up at a local business and then brings it back to the house. And then we at 6 o'clock in the morning start doing our own makeup, and then each of us has to go to hair and makeup. So that's why we wake up so early, because we don't start filming until like 10.
Wow.
So from 6 to 10, we're like eating, getting ready, going to hair and makeup, going to wardrobe, and like getting ready for the day.
So like for me, if I ever went on reality TV, like I don't know like how to, like the drama that starts, right?
Yeah.
You really got to dig deep and like to do it, right? Or
Well, like I love reality TV.
Yeah.
Like I love watching it. I don't even feel guilty about it. Like it is so juicy, and I love gossip. So for me, I knew what would make good TV. So like I went into it like, if love is found, love is found. But if love is not found, I'll make a good show. And like The thing about reality TV is I think that they make the person with the biggest personality in the room look the worst because you're the easiest to like, you're the easiest to manipulate, like in terms of like you're just talking so much, and I talk a lot. So like I feel, and I was like the show's villain, just for anyone who like wants to come for me. I already know. But it's not that I was like mean or malicious or anything like that, but it was just I gave them so much material. So
that they could like literally like edit what they want.
Yeah. Like they just made up a whole thing of like me hooking up with a girl in some room. Like that did not happen. I did kiss somebody, 2 people on the show, 3 people on the show, but it was not done in a room like overnight. We didn't spend the night together. I mean, we did because we shared a room, but it was not like that.
So while filming like this romantic reality show, do a lot of the cast members hook up like off camera?
Oh yeah. Yeah. There was like the girls' bathroom, because like they had all of like the girls that were there share a room. So like all the lesbians, like everyone's in the same room, right? And there's only like 4 beds, and at any given point there's 6 girls. So
oh my gosh,
it was like 2 girls are sharing a bed. There's like a bunk bed, whatever. The girls' bathroom had no mics, so we were drinking every day. Things happen, and then the girly pops would go to the bathroom, and like we're all naked in front of each other, we're showering in front of each other, like things happen. And like the gay men there was no straight men, gay men, they all shared a room, and actually 2 of them left together as a couple.
Oh wow.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, and they dated for a while.
So they really won the show.
They really won the show. They were like the actual only like success story from the show.
So the bathroom was like the designated.
Yeah, it would be like, can I
meet
talk
me
to
in the
you?
bathroom.
Yeah, can I talk to you in the bathroom? Like we all knew what that meant.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how many times did you go to the bathroom?
I was in the bathroom. I was in the bathroom every day, but for that reason, for the can I go to the bathroom with you, that was like twice, 3 times.
And was it with the love interests that they had like you matched up with on the show, or was it with other?
Well, to be fair, I wasn't initiating the can I go to the bathroom conversation in any of these. The first time I was literally peeing with a girl, and like as girls do, like you just go to the bathroom together. And so we're in there, we were like in the middle of like some kind of like party or something like that. And then I'm like literally I'm pulling my pants up, and she goes, "You're so hot." And I'm like, period. And then she was like, and then she basically was like, "Can I kiss you?" And I was like, "Sure." She was really hot. And then so we kissed, and then I was like, "We shouldn't." And then she's like, "We shouldn't." And then it was like, okay. And then we like just carried on with our night. The very next day we had a new girl enter the house, and I was showing her around, like being like, "This is where we sleep. This is our bathroom, whatever." And then when I'm showing her the bathroom, there's a producer right outside the door, like who's like wrangling us.
Yeah.
And she closes the door on the producer, like grabs me by the shirt like this, and then just like kisses me for like a hot 3 seconds, but it's like a really good 3-second kiss.
Yeah.
And then she like lets go of me and goes, "You're really hot," and then like leaves.
Wow.
And I'm like, period. And I'm just thinking like, am I hot? Like the girly
You
pops?
go.
I was killing it. And then that's like where we all went to like share secrets, and like we'd sit on the bathroom floor at like 4 a.m, 2 hours before sunrise.
So while being on this reality show, like what do you find that like a lot of producers fake about the show?
Well, I feel like
Or what is fake on a reality show? Let's ask that.
So like we say the things we say, but like you can chop it up and you can put it all together. Like there are things that like I watched when I watched the show, and I was like, that didn't happen, or I didn't say that. And like they can just make it look like anything, or you said it weeks ago and they're saying it now. Like It's just like sometimes it's like, like maybe like your first impression is like, "Oh my God, she's really beautiful," and then you hear she's really beautiful at the very end. You know what I mean? To tell the story that they want to tell, because the job of a reality TV show is like, you can't script these people, but they're saying enough that you can tell a story, and they just want to tell a story.
Right.
So whatever is like the most interesting story is how they run with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, and I was giving them like alternate storylines. I was like, do you want this? Do you want that? Because at the end, like I was there because I won the show. I was there for like 8 weeks.
Right.
And so by the end of the show, I was like, just so over it. Like every time something happens, a producer's like, "Let me get you really quick in an interview." So then you're talking about your feelings all the time. And like, I'm not really someone who does that anyway. So it was really exhausting for me socially as well. So at the end I was like, I just want to get out of this interview as fast as I can. So I'd just be like, "Girl, what do you want me to say?" And they'd be like, "Can you just talk about blah, 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 blah?" And I'd be like, "Okay." And I'd say it one way, and they'd be like, "Can you say it more like you mean it? And I'd be like, okay. And I could just, I just could make myself cry on the spot.
Oh
and
my
I would
gosh.
just, I just wanted to get out of there.
So they didn't script it, but they literally are telling you like, can you redo it? Like do this again.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But they're also cutting up something from that could be a week prior and putting it in the present week.
Right.
Wow.
Would you ever go on a reality show again?
I think it depends on the show. Like I really want to go on Survivor.
Oh, you would crush it on Survivor.
Yeah. I have no physical stamina, but I feel like if I trained for a couple months, I could probably manage.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite show of all time. I'm like a super fan. I've watched every single episode of every single season. Like I'm so in it.
Yeah.
And I've watched like how people mess up, and I feel like, but it's different when you're there, you know, and like you're surviving. And like, I imagine like, you know, when you're really hungry and you start saying things you don't mean.
Yeah.
I feel like that would definitely be a factor of like why people like act crazy is because they're hungry, they're tired, they're in a forest, like just sleeping on bamboo.
Yeah.
I get it.
I feel like you also would be really good at the Amazing Race.
Yes.
I would love to do the Amazing Race as
But
well.
I know it also relies on your partner.
Yeah. If I've had the perfect partner, like I thought about doing it with my brother because he's really good at the things I'm not good at. Like I'm good at the social parts. He's also social, but he's really physical and he like likes to work out and stuff. So he could do all like the physically demanding ones.
Yeah.
But like I'm pretty fearless when I come. Like I'm not afraid of heights. I'm not afraid of like. I literally can't name a fear that I have other than like a branch off of agoraphobia. I'm afraid of the inside of churches. But yeah, it's really random.
Wait, is that a thing?
What?
What you just said, what do you call it? Gornophobia?
Agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is like the fear of like large open spaces.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
I thought you like literally meant like the inside of a church.
Like the church pews
I
and
am
stuff.
afraid of like the inside.
The
Like-
decor? The cross?
So-
or how open it is.
Should I open the story time right now?
Go for it.
Okay, so when I was like 19, I was in Paris and I went to Sacré-Cœur, the giant chapel, and it's like super famous, right? And me and my ex, we were in there and I was super excited to go. I loved Gothic architecture my whole life. I was always drawing buildings, and you know how everyone had that phase where they're drawing eyes in their notebooks? I was always drawing buildings. So this was like really huge for me. And we go inside, and mind you, I didn't grow up religious and I had no like religious background growing up. So this is my first time in like a real church, right? Like a cathedral.
Yeah.
I walk in and immediately like I start shaking. I'm like shaking, my hands are like this, right? And I'm like, am I nervous? Like what's going on? Then I start like sweating and I'm like, it feels like an allergy attack, you know? I'm like sweating, I'm shaking, and then I start crying. And at some point I'm like, and then I realize I can't breathe. And I'm like, what the heck's happened? So I run out of the church and I go and sit on the stairs and I'm like literally shaking, panic. I am having a full blown panic attack. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Because it's never happened to me in my life before like that. So then I was like, that was weird. I wrote it off as that was weird. And I was like, maybe, I don't know, Jesus was pretty graphically on the cross. So I was like, maybe that like, I don't know, threw me or something. Anyway, so my friend joked that I was like possessed. Anyway, I'm not possessed.
You're like having to reassure
I know,
yourself.
I'm like,
I'm not. I'm not.
So then that ex in question had a religious family and I spent Christmas with them and they wanted to go to church for Christmas.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm not going to be like, don't take me to church because I had cried that one time in Paris. So I just went with them and lo and behold, I start crying and I start panicking and I start losing my mind inside of a church. And I'm literally just sitting there because I'm trying to be a good sport, but I'm like literally sitting there shaking in my seat in like the little aisle, like just sitting there like this, like crying.
What do you think it is though? Like what part of it?
So then this is
sorry.
where the tea is. So then I was 22, I was in Milan and I'm walking around, and Milan to me, and I've been to many places in Italy, but Milan specifically, when I got there, I was like, you know, this place feels different. Like this place feels like I've been here before. It felt like so comfortable. I knew where everything was. I never got lost, like whatever. So every single day I would take like an hour walk around and then I would always end up in front of this plaza, right?
Okay.
It was like the same plaza. So I was there for 6 days and every single time I would take different lefts, different rights, different turns. I would always end up in this plaza at some point. So and then there's this church in the middle of the plaza, and every single day I would kind of just look at it and go, that's really interesting, but I never really thought anything of it. But the last day, something called me because that was the first day that the church was empty. Yeah. So I was like, we should go check it out. So I walk up and I go into the church. And before I tell you this next reveal, it's important to note that from the time I was a teenager, I would always record my dreams and I would draw my dreams in a dream journal.
Whoa.
And I like I told you, I've always drawn buildings, and there was always this one building interior that I would draw, and it looked like an altar.
Okay.
And there was literally an altar and like a giant like stained glass window, and then in the corner there's like a hallway that goes down to different whatever. And I would see this dream, and it was a nightmare that I was always at the altar, and then all of a sudden like the door would open behind me, and there's people that were rushing in, and then they'd chase me down that hallway.
Oh my gosh.
So that's why I drew it, and I dreamt it like so many times, like 4, 5, 6 times. So I was like, this is crazy. So when I'm in Milan, back in that present moment, the door was kind of open, so I just kind of open it. And then I literally could not believe what I was seeing. It's literally the altar that I drew.
What?
And then in the corner of the room, there's a door that's literally the same door that I would go run down. And immediately in that moment, like viscerally, I fell to my knees, like so dramatic. And I just start sobbing. And I have no idea why I'm crying. Like, I have no idea. And I'm by myself too, so this just looks crazy. And then I go and I just sit there for a couple seconds, and I'm like, I gotta go. So I get up, I sit down, and I'm like, this is crazy. So then I was telling my friend the story, and then they were like, you should talk to a past life regression therapist.
Yeah.
And I was like, period. So I go and I find one, and basically the first thing that they told me to do was, ask your mom if you ever said anything weird as a child. And I was like, okay. Like, they were just but before the age of 5.
Yeah.
And my mom always told me that I had an obsession with church, and that I used to always say, I need to go to church, I need to pray when I was a child. Mind you, I didn't even know what church was. We'd never been to church. I was in Japan.
What the heck? You don't even have churches in Japan, right?
We don't really even have churches like that.
It's like, sorry, go ahead. Doesn't matter.
Shinto, yeah,
Okay.
the religion, yeah. But yeah, so then I was like, maybe in the past life something went wrong with the church. So that's why I'm afraid of the inside.
The people
of
that were
churches.
chasing after you were like zombies, or what were they?
No, they were like cloaked people. Like, they just had like these long robes on.
That's so scary.
It's really scary. And I couldn't see their face because they had like a thing over.
So your dreams kind of like predicted.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Do you think you have visions? Like,
I don't know. That
Have
was
you
like-
ever experienced that before?
No, that was the only time.
That's freaky.
Yeah. So anyway,
have you ever had any ghost experiences?
no, I choose actively not to believe in ghosts because I don't want to see them. It's not that I don't think
That's
that
a good
they're
way
real.
to do it, yeah.
Yeah.
But if I don't believe in them, then I can't see them. Is how I've always felt like that. Because my mom, like, Japanese people are so like, ghost this, ghost
Yeah.
that. So my mom always like scared me when I was
Yeah.
a kid, I don't know if your parents are like that.
No,
being
my parents
Japanese.
don't believe in ghosts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they also didn't want us to like be
Believe in
scared.
ghosts,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My mom was not afraid to scare me. She was like, we were watching The Grudge when I was a kid. Like, I was like 8 years old watching The Grudge.
8
Oh my
years old.
God.
She was like, let's watch a movie. And it'd be like The Grudge. And I'm like,
Oh my
okay. Yeah.
Okay, on to a lighter note.
Yeah,
So
sorry.
Hina does a lot of astrology content
Yeah.
on TikTok. So for you, what birth month tends to produce the most attractive people?
October Libras.
October.
Libras and May Tauruses.
What about the ugliest people?
Everyone's beautiful.
So October and what?
October Libras
Libras.
and May Tauruses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Leia's May?
Leia's a Gemini.
Oh, so she just missed the cut.
She missed the cut, but she's really beautiful.
Yeah. Leia, you're very beautiful.
Leia, I love you so much, and you're so beautiful.
That's so funny. So my girlfriend missed the cut.
So my girlfriend missed the cut.
Obviously, she did not.
But my favorite sign is Gemini. But my favorite sign, and I'm not just saying this because of that, but my favorite sign is literally Gemini.
Really?
I love Gemini so much, and she is a Gemini. And I love May Geminis, and she's a May Gemini. That's my favorite zodiac sign.
Wow.
Yeah, May Geminis.
What astrology sign is the most troubled, caused the most chaos in the world?
Aries.
What months
Wow.
are those?
That's late March and April.
Interesting.
Oh my God, you guys are crazy.
What do you think? Like, what month do you think produces the most serial killers?
Well, Virgos.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there's actually like research done.
There
on
is
this.
research.
So,
It's Virgo, Gemini, Sagittarius.
what month is Virgo?
Virgo is August.
Okay.
August and September.
Okay, so from this study,
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you in order. So in last place is September.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's June and October.
Mm-hmm.
Then is May and August.
Mm-hmm.
Then is March.
Mm-hmm.
Then February. Now, for the top 4, where the most serial killers are, is July, December, January, and November. So they're saying November is number 1.
Sagittarius.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Do you
Yeah.
agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, July is kind of random. I mean, I'm a July baby, but Cancer and Leo is not really that represented on lists like that normally.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're
but
not killers.
Sagittarius is not surprising at all because like a lot of serial killers said. I think Ted Bundy was a Sagittarius. Like
Really?
don't quote me on that, but I know that a lot of like Jeffrey Dahmer I think was a Sag. Maybe he was a Gemini.
What about
It's always-
Scorpio?
Scorpio is like they get a bad rap, but they're not really like they're more like emotionally angry.
Oh.
But they're not really like
So they're like psychopath,
they're more like
not serial killer.
they're more like they love revenge. That's the thing with Scorpios.
Oh.
But like you can't like a Scorpio is not gonna just organically like be like I want you dead.
Yeah.
But like they will.
Daniel's like, no, we don't do it like that.
Yeah. But like if you do something to like hurt them, like they can be really vengeful.
Oh.
Yeah. Because they don't forget.
But Sagittarius will kill.
Sagittarius because they're impulse.
Who do we know as a Sagittarius?
Ashley.
Ashley, my sister, also.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Both their names are so close to
I know,
Ashlyn and Ashley.
I know. Not the serial killer duo.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. Yeah. But no, yeah.
Okay. What is your juiciest hot take?
I think that social media is killing the music industry.
Really?
Because so I think in like the boom of music in like the late 90s, especially like I'm talking about like how we know it today.
Yeah.
Right. The 90s and the 80s were a huge influence on like how we currently see like the basic structure of like marketing, and a lot of old school people in the industry still apply like that kind of marketing strategy.
Yeah.
But with social media, someone can overnight become a star, but then you don't have like the marketing, you don't have like the team that you need to make yourself into a superstar, right?
I see, yeah.
And so you're skipping a lot of steps. And I think part of like what was really big in the industry before was like paying homage or paying respect to the people that came before you. And you had to pay your dues, so to speak, in the industry to become who you are, which is toxic in and of itself. But when you got to where you were, there was a humbleness about it because it was like, I worked really, 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 really hard to get here. Whereas now with social media, it's like anyone can become a music star, anyone. But then if you look at ticket sales, if you look at, you know, who's selling out arenas, it's the same 15 people. And those are the people who made it on the old school come up, right?
Interesting.
And so you're not really building a loyal fan base because they don't really have the same structure. But I do think that access wise, like anyone can become a musician and make money off of it, which is great, which is awesome. And art should be that way. But I do feel like the industry as we know it and the way that we think about it today is so different than the way we thought about it 20 years ago.
Right. I mean, look at Young Gravy, right? Young Gravy
Yeah.
had a concert like a month ago.
Yeah.
And he couldn't even sell like a quarter of the tickets.
Right.
Wow.
So it's like shows you, right? Like
Yeah.
he can have millions of impressions, but that
Right.
doesn't convert.
It doesn't convert. Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I feel like people like, you know, obviously like Beyonce, like and Taylor Swift, like they've had like decades plus. Like Beyonce has been in the industry for like 20 plus years, which is incredible.
Right.
And like when you've been in the industry for that long, you've paid your dues. Like you know, she was Destiny's Child and she was Beyonce and she went through so many hoops to get to where she is now that's why her fandom is the way it is. You
Yeah,
know, like
right.
you had to do all of that to get to where you are. And there's a lot of respect that we have for artists like that. Whereas like, I feel like the super fan behavior isn't as directed towards people who have like one hit song on a viral sound.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I don't think we're supposed to know that much about people's personal lives. And that's like a whole other topic.
True.
But it really does. Like it's unhealthy, I think.
In your life,
Yeah.
what would you say is the meanest thing you've ever done to someone?
My sister's going to hate me for telling this story. But when we were kids,
Yeah.
my mom used to give us Oreos for a snack. And I hated the black part of the cookie. I really hated it. I thought it was so nasty. I really love the cream though, as kids do. So my mom would give me a bag of Oreos and go, here, go share with your sister. And then I would lick the cream out of the Oreo and then stick the black cookies together with my spit and then give them to my sister. And be like, there you go. Like, here's a cookie. And my sister, of course, didn't know that I was doing that. So she just thought Oreo cookies were the black cookies.
Right.
And then it wasn't until she was a little bit older when she started hanging out with her friends and she had a real cookie. She was like, oh my God, did you know that Oreo cookies, like they have Oreo cookies with cream inside?
Oh my
And
gosh.
she discovered my fraud, my lie, my deception.
Did she prefer it with the cream inside?
She prefers it with the cream.
Oh, okay. Nice, Ashlyn.
Yeah, sorry. But she ate my Halloween candy like a couple years later, so she's had her revenge. Okay.
I feel like, yeah.
I
You
was
took
so
a lot
mad.
of
I
you
was
took a
so
lot of
mad.
cream.
She ate all my Reese's.
So what is the craziest conspiracy theory that you know?
Have you heard of the Tupac is still alive one?
No.
Yeah, it's T. Well, basically, so the theory goes like this, and I'm not claiming to subscribe to this, but this is just something I've heard. So basically, it all starts with the coroner report.
Okay.
Right. So Tupac, he was about 5'10", which you know weighs about like 170 pounds on average. Well, his coroner report reported that he was 6'1" and 210 pounds.
What?
Which you don't just gain 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And you also
death.
don't grow either.
You also, yeah, I mean, I feel like opposite. You kind of shrink, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. There's also like claims that he was missing tattoos that were on his chest from his California Love music video on the actual autopsy. And then he was cremated really, really fast. And like the person who cremated him was literally never seen again. And yeah, like after he did the cremation, which he was paid $3 million to do, by the way.
3 million?
Yeah, by Suge Knight. And he was literally never seen again. And then the last photo that was taken of him, which was like the night he passed away, there were gunshots. That obviously that's how he died.
Right.
Not saying I believe, but you know, just the night that he died, it was like on a really, really busy part of the Vegas Strip. And also like Mike Tyson was fighting that night. So people were like out in the streets. And no one heard the gunshots. And the last photo that was taken of them allegedly was like when they were driving down the strip but if you look at the picture, there's no keys in Suge's ignition. So it's like,
How's the car driving then without
how's the
key?
car driving? What even happened?
And he
Yeah.
got shot multiple times, and you're telling me no one in
No
Vegas
one,
heard
yeah,
the
there were
gunshots?
multiple gunshots fired and no one heard it. Yeah.
That's
In
just
Vegas.
weird.
Yeah. And then what's also crazy is that his girlfriend allegedly begged him not to go out that night as well. And was like, I just have a bad feeling. Please don't go out. Please don't go out. And he went out. And then also another thing is that, have you guys heard of the artist Machiavelli?
no.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I don't know.
Well, Machiavelli so Tupac on his last album, he used another alias, Machiavelli. And if you rearrange letters, there's Am Alive K. And I think also I'm something like I'm alive or something. There's different ways to rearrange letters that kind of, well, Machiavelli, the Italian writer, was someone who basically said the best way to avenge your enemies is to basically fake your own death and then come back to strike for your revenge at the perfect time. So he went under this alias, and then afterwards, after his death, there's an artist called Machiavelli who sounds it's kind of uncanny how much he sounds like Tupac. And then he's making music like to this day under an alias called Machiavelli.
And also,
and I don't think Machiavelli performs.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And didn't like Tupac release 6 albums after he died of all new material?
Yeah, like
How's that possible?
I mean, mathematically speaking, it's really unlikely that they had 6 albums worth of like unreleased songs, but also like Tupac was writing a lot of music, so it could have, I mean, who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
And that's just a conspiracy theory.
Yeah. And that's just what people are saying in the streets.
That's really sketchy.
Yeah, right?
When you add it all up, it doesn't add up.
It doesn't add up. And like I'm not good at math, but you know, some things I know.
Do you have any other crazy conspiracy theories?
Avril Lavigne is possessed by her twin, or her body was taken over by her evil twin, Melissa.
Really?
Yeah. And that
Melissa.
after her skater boy era, like
Yeah.
when she was all punk and stuff, like when she came back for Girlfriend, she was no longer Avril, but her twin, Melissa.
That's the T.
I don't know anything more about it, but that was going around for a while.
That's what they say.
I was obsessed with that theory when I was like 12. I was like, yeah, there's no other explanation. But now we just call that a rebrand. So
Yeah. Shall we move on to the uncensored version
Uncensored.
of Just the Nobody's Uncensored?
Welcome to Love Island. Sorry.
Okay, so on Just the Nobody's Uncensored, the last time we did this, we talked to Soy and Ashley.
Yeah, I
and
watched it.
And we talked about soaking.
Yeah.
And
I have a Mormon ex.
You dated a Mormon?
Yeah, I did. Well, an ex-Mormon.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you know about soaking.
I know about it.
But she was an ex. So technically, she didn't have to do soaking.
We didn't have to soak, no. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. We didn't do that.
So I guess to get the ball rolling for the
Yeah.
Uncensored, have you, for Soy and Ashley, they
Yes.
were involved in a situation where, as you know,
Yes.
this person was making out
Yes.
or hooking up and they're rubbing against Soy and Soy was awake.
Yep.
So for you, have you had any experiences like that where someone's like hooked up in front of you or like anything like that?
I played the fifth.
Okay.
That-
Didn't say, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That's fine.
I played the fifth.
On the next, moving on. So like, I saw like a lot of people talk about like role playing, and what would be? Have you ever role played?
One time with an ex, she had like a nun thing.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah, it kind of like played into like my weird religious like imagery thing where I was like, I don't know, but I don't kink shame, so I give it a shot. But it wasn't really.
Did you
didn't-
dress up as the nun?
No, she was a nun, and I was like some consort.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't kink shame, so.
Do you have to go? Is there like a special store you buy the costumes at, or is it just
No,
something?
it's more of a vibe. You're like, okay, I'm a nun now. It's like when
Oh,
you're
you just-
playing. It's like when you're playing make believe when you're a kid. You're like, I'm a nun, and everyone's just like, okay, you're a nun.
Also,
Yeah.
there's no
We
like
like- we
dress
like-
up involved.
We turned all the lights off in the house, and we were like walking around with just candles. It was actually more silly than it was sexy. I was like, okay. I like put on an accent for like no reason. I just thought it would like maybe fit the vibe. I was like, let's just be like a French nun consort.
Did you show your drawing as a kid? Like, look.
I was like, this is my church.
What it? Do you have like the craziest hookup story?
I don't kiss and tell, Ryan.
Well, that's just nobody's uncensored.
Let me see. Can I ask you, would you rather question?
Sure.
Okay. Would you guys, this is part of the uncensored, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you guys rather every time you sleep with someone, the person that you're sleeping with's face turns into the face of Shrek, only for the duration of while you're sleeping with them? Or every time you nut, you have to rap the entirety of Rap God by Eminem. You have to do the whole thing like while you're nutting.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like while, and like obviously you're not going to nut for that long,
Oh
but you
my
just have
gosh,
to keep
it's so
going.
awkward, you know?
You just have
Okay.
to keep going.
So now going back to the Shrek one,
Yeah.
it's just the face.
It's just the face.
Everything else stays the same.
Everything else is the same. It's just the face. It's just like they just fully are like, get out, Miss Wump. Like they
Get
kind
out
of
of my swamp.
yeah.
Oh, has the personality of Shrek too?
They speak like Shrek.
Oh, now you're adding on. To
No.
I'd go Shrek.
Shrek.
What?
Aw,
I thought the
imagine
Rap
Leia.
God one would be kind of cool.
Not kind of. You're like not to flex on you twice.
That's kind of impressive. I
You're
mean,
like, but here it is. I think I'd also pick Rap God.
Am I crazy?
the Shrek one's
No.
kind of weird, man.
I mean,
So
you can
awkward.
close your eyes, I guess. But with Rap God, you just have to perform it. But I'm
Yeah.
a Leo.
Yeah,
so
I don't
I'm
get
like,
what's the
I'm
problem.
ready.
You're right. What did I do? I should just pick the Rap God thing. That doesn't really do anything.
You got to think though, doing Rap God, right? It's like that's like an impressive thing to do.
It's
Like
kind
being
of
able to do that.
yeah.
That's like
How many people do you know like that actually know all the words?
I don't.
I tried to learn it when I was like.
Is that
in
the one that
7th
Daniel
grade.
Radcliffe did?
no.
I'm not going to demonstrate it for you because it's embarrassing.
You've heard Rap God.
Yeah.
It's like the one where he goes like crazy fast.
Yeah.
Is it on Guitar Hero?
No.
Oh,
Eminem on Guitar Hero.
I don't know why I thought it was on Guitar Hero.
Maybe like a mod or something.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, so we're all rap godding.
Well, are you
I'm
Shrekking?
Shrekking.
You're
Oh,
Shrekking.
okay.
I'm joining that swamp.
Yeah.
I'm swimming
aren't,
in it.
looks aren't everything.
No.
he
says
regrets it
just-
so much.
I know. He's like,
No.
Okay, we will be. Let's get out of uncensored now.
You're like, enough.
Oh, did you have one more?
Oh yeah. Would you guys rather not be able to tell the difference between a muffin or a baby? So like you won't be able to tell the difference. If you see a baby, you could eat it because it's actually a muffin. Or change genders every time you sneeze.
Ooh.
It's kind of giving like Zelda and like,
That'd be kind of fun.
yeah. I'm changing genders personally.
I'm changing genders too.
Yeah, I feel like
Oh my god, we can have like a girls' day.
I feel like you can also make
Allergy
yourself
season.
sneeze, so you're kind of changing on command in a way
You're
too.
so right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be really useful. You could be like a spy.
But you might accidentally eat a baby if you go the other
Yeah.
way, right? So
Right. And then like
Go to jail.
say goodbye to having a family. Yeah.
yeah.
Or you might kill your family. You might eat your
Right.
kids.
You might eat your kids. There are some birds that do that.
I'm switching. What?
Yeah.
Birds eat their kids.
Sometimes.
Eat them to survive, or just
No,
eat them
they
to
just
kill?
eat them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's other animals that do that. A lot of animals actually eat their kids sometimes on
Do
accident.
dogs eat their kids?
No,
Oh,
they just lick them a lot.
taste the blood.
They like to clean them.
Okay, so we'll leave Justin Nobody's Uncensored now. Oh, we have a soundboard.
Can I touch
Going
it?
back to just nobody's censored.
Did I do it?
Yeah, you did.
Can I do it one more time?
Sure.
Why don't I hear it?
It's only for the people listening at home.
You guys are so lucky.
What is the best advice someone's given you, or you've read, or you've received?
So a boss that I hated.
Yeah.
I literally hated his guts. He was like the worst ever. But he did say something that was like, it made me mad how profound it was. He said, if you don't know something, it's actually better to say that you don't know than to pretend you know or to come up with some answer. So like, for example, if someone was like, hey, like, have you, what's your opinion about yada, yada, yada? You can go, I don't know enough to have an opinion about that.
And they
And like,
respect you more.
that's, yeah. And that's actually more that I feel like that garners more respect than just making a fake opinion based on something you don't actually know about.
That's
Right.
good.
Yeah. And like, I just use that a lot. Like when people are talking about things I have nothing about and they're like, oh, like, what are your thoughts on? I'm like, I don't know. I don't have any thoughts about it because I
That's
don't know
valid.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like too many people maybe get into like trouble, like saying like, yeah, I know what that is.
Yeah. Or like just forming or regurgitating opinions,
Yeah.
So it's like, I like to make my own opinion and just say I don't know until then.
I have to say this. I think you are the smartest person I know.
No.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I feel,
No.
I was thinking about that
Yes.
the other day. I was like, I think Hina is the smartest person I know.
You guys are just saying that because you guys are making a podcast.
No.
I feel like I've told you that before.
No, I'm not.
Oh, now I'm
Genuinely.
telling you publicly.
Yeah.
No.
Hina is the smartest person we know.
And we know a lot of smart people.
Yeah. Smart.
But Hina is the smartest.
No.
Okay, moving on. What is your top 5 favorite movies of all time?
Ooh.
The Room by Tommy Wiseau. I love The Handmaiden.
I've never seen it.
It's really good. It's gay. And I love Mr. Nobody. I know that Jared Leto, like, I don't know how people feel about him, but I really like the movie. It's really good. The Invisible Guest is a Spanish film. It's
Okay.
actually, I'm not going to say. I was going to say it's on Netflix, but no, it's not. The Invisible Guest. Actually, The Invisible Guest kind of ties with Ne le dis à personne. It's like a French movie.
I'm going to take one from your book. I don't know what that is,
Oh,
Hina.
that's good. That's really good.
I hope one day to research enough
That's really
to
good.
understand.
I think it came out in 2006. And then my last one is, what is it? Haruhi Suzumiya. The Disappearance of Haruhi Suzumiya.
Oh, wow.
That one's like an anime one.
Is it in
really good.
Japan?
It's an anime. It just takes place in Japan. It's really good. It's like really fantastical, but it's like really long.
So it's old movie.
Yeah, it's old.
Oh, we had to watch
It's
that.
like, I think that one came out in 2010.
I feel like a lot of the movies you just named, I have no idea.
No, I have never watched any of them.
That's good.
The Room,
The
I know
Room?
about The Room.
Oh my God, I love The Room.
What
It's probably like my most rewatched movie.
Really?
I
Wow.
put everyone onto it. I
Isn't
make
it like
everyone
one of
watch
the
it.
most hated movies too?
It's like the most polarizing movie, I think.
Okay.
Because like people are like, the first time you watch it, if you like try to take it seriously, like it's not good.
Yeah.
But then like it's objectively horrible.
Wow.
Right. But it's so funny. It's so
but it's not
funny.
trying to be funny though.
It's not trying to be funny.
Yeah.
But it's so brilliant to me. And it's just like, I don't know. And I love Tommy Wiseau. I feel like he's just brilliant.
Did you watch the one with James Franco and
I did. Yeah.
was that good?
Yeah. I think he did a good Tommy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I like that Tommy was like involved in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the press tour that they did.
What is your top 3 favorite animes of all time?
Sailor Moon, because I used to watch that as a kid. Kakegurui, because I love to gamble. And what was the other one? Oh, yeah. Cyberpunk Edge Runners.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That one was really good.
It was really
Cyberpunk
good.
was really good.
Yeah,
I didn't
it
get
was
to
really
watch it
good.
yet.
It's so good.
Is it follow the video game or is it
No,
after
it's
the
a
video game?
story in the universe. And it's also, that's my favorite video game as well. So.
That show did shock me.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah.
What's the Rotten Tomato score on that right now? Like roughly.
100%.
Is it really?
I don't know.
Is it in the
I
90s?
just made that up.
I think it won Anime of the Year.
Wow.
I think it did. Don't quote me, but I
That's
think it
tea.
did.
That's tea.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was really good.
And Hina, you worked in the music industry, right?
Yeah.
So what is your top 5 favorite music albums of all time?
Okay. One of them's definitely Mariah Carey's Caution album. It's so good. One of my favorite songs of all time's on it, Giving Me Life. Oh, so good. I also love Mac Miller's The Divine Feminine, Amy Winehouse Frank, the UK version. Basically any and all of Al Green's albums, especially the one with Simply Beautiful on it. It's the White Album. I think that's, I don't remember the name of that album actually. And then the Sly and the Family Stone album, the one where he's jumping in the air in like a split. I have it on vinyl over there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of those?
No.
We got to do some listening.
Yeah.
We're not very well versed in the music
You guys get
space.
the movies. I'll get the music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. This next part of the podcast, I'm going to ask you a bunch of would you rather questions.
Okay.
And you have to answer them as fast as you can.
Okay.
Would you rather have dinner with Jay-Z or have $500,000 untaxed?
I've already had a drink with Jay-Z, so I'd rather just
That's crazy.
have
Whoa.
the money.
Okay.
It was a work thing.
Strawberries.
I wasn't alone. It was in a group.
That's still really cool.
Yeah.
Strawberries or blueberries?
Blueberries.
Water or soda?
Water.
Coca-Cola or Pepsi?
Pepsi.
Chocolate ice cream or vanilla ice cream?
Vanilla bean.
Oh, that wasn't an option.
Well,
It's just
vanilla. I don't like chocolate ice cream.
Meat or vegetables?
Vegetables.
M&Ms or Skittles?
Skittles.
White chocolate or dark chocolate?
Dark chocolate, 100%.
End world hunger or get $50 million untaxed?
End world hunger, because to end world hunger, it would cost more than $50 million untaxed.
Would you rather live in LA or New York?
LA.
Would you rather live in a huge treehouse in the forest or a massive penthouse in a skyscraper?
Skyscraper. I wouldn't know what to do in a forest. I'd be bored.
Prepare for Survivor. Live in Greenland or Iceland?
Iceland. No, Greenland. Iceland. Greenland. Iceland.
Vacation in North Korea or South Korea?
Ryan. South.
Would you rather live in an underwater city or a city 1,000 feet in the air?
Oh, city 1,000 feet in the air, like sky high.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Do I get superpowers while I'm up there?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure if we're living in the sky 1,000 feet
We
up,
would know how to fly.
Yeah.
Can we come back down?
I don't know. Maybe the world's like, you can't even
Is
live.
it like an escalator?
No, it looked like it was just a floating city.
Cool. I like it. Underwater would be scary. There's too many things that can kill you down there.
That is true.
That is true.
Yeah. In the air, like what? A bird? You're going to peck me?
Yeah.
Square up.
What is your next, what are you working on currently?
I'm writing a book.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're going to say that right now?
Yeah. It's okay if they know I'm writing a book.
That's right. It's really good.
It's amazing.
How many chapters do you have written so far?
Like, I have like segments of a bunch of chapters, but I have 10 chapters done that I'm like completely content with.
Wow.
Yeah. Like I've edited it I've rewritten all 10 chapters probably 6 times.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I've been working on it for like 2 years, but I have other parts of the book that are written. They're just not in a chapter yet.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's so good. I mean, the story is so original, and I feel like I could definitely see it as a movie.
Thanks. Thanks,
When do you
guys.
project it to be
I want to
done?
have the first book out by next year, like the end of next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be a series?
Yeah, it's a trilogy.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
It's going to be dystopian, like sci-fi, cyberpunk, core.
Wow.
Yeah. It's going to be really cool.
It's gonna be hot.
It's
gonna
definitely,
be-
I mean, I feel like whatever you do, you like go like 1,000%. So it's
Yeah.
going to be really good.
Thanks. Yeah. It's like my only like passion aside from actually video games.
Oh my gosh. What is
Yeah.
your top 5 favorite video games?
Oh my God, period. Cyberpunk 2077. The DLC comes out September 26th. So start playing. It's gay. Okay. Anyway, Cyberpunk. I love Fallout, like just the series. I love, what else? Oh, Kirby's Air Ride on the GameCube. I love like Rock Band. And what else? Red Dead Redemption 2.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
did you just start playing that?
I've been playing it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's great.
That's a great game.
Yeah, it's a really. I love foraging for berries, and like filling my compendium.
I've never played Red Dead Redemption that way, but I'm sure
Yeah,
it's fun.
my main goal right now is just filling the compendium. I like go hunting and like search for berries and fish, and I'm just trying to get them all.
You're collecting the berries?
Yeah.
What about the flowers? Do you collect the flowers?
Yeah, the flowers and the berries and like the herbs and stuff. Yeah.
I'm glad someone did that. I'm sure like the
Yeah.
designers out there that really focused on that. They're like, thank you,
Yeah,
Hina.
I literally like I go out on my horse and I don't even like do the missions right now. I just like go out there and I just go to areas I've never been before and then just look on my with my dead eye like where the berries are and then I just go over there and I'm like, oh, please be a berry I haven't found yet. Yeah, and I like the fishing too and the hunting. I've gotten really good at that actually.
Really?
I'm a vegan, so it makes me sad, but I have to fill my compendium.
So let's see. You're on TikTok.
Yeah, that's right.
Your username is Hina.
That's right.
You're on Instagram as Hina Sabatine.
Kate Sabs.
Kate Sabs.
Yeah, K, the number 8, SABC.
So if you want to see the amazing life of Hina, make sure you follow them on all their socials. It's all linked in the description. And you're going to be posting about your book.
Yeah, when it comes out eventually.
It's really good.
Yeah, I hope you guys love it. It's literally my everything, and I've put everything into it, and all my free time and all of my creative energy and all of my effort and all of my heart and all of my soul into it. So I hope you like it a little.
And one thing to know about Hina, they don't take shortcuts, so you know it's good.
Thank you. Yeah, it is my everything.
Is there anything that you want to say that you want to promote?
No,
Just living life.
I'm just living life. Go follow just the nobodies.
Oh, thanks. You're
Yeah.
talking to all the subscribers right now. Make sure you stay followed.
Yeah, make sure you stay followed and like and comment below about everything. Even things that maybe aren't even related. Just give me a hot take in the comments. They love reading comments.
We love it.
They print them out and they put them in their bathroom so they can read them while they're using it.
Only the positive ones.
No, you put the negative ones under the sink. I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I also put them in the toilet too.
Yeah, I know.
So then I just use the bathroom on top of all of it.
Yep, I know.
That's what we do, the haters.
Yep. Pee on it.
Well, thank you, Hina, for being here. Thank you for all your insight and your amazing
God.
stories.
Well, I'm here. I'm in my house.
Oh yeah, sorry. Thanks for having us.
I'm like, I can't help but be here. I don't drive.
I do want to say this. Hina is one of our bestest friends. You're such an
I love you
amazing
guys so
individual.
much.
You're one of the most genuine people we know, and you've been there for us, and we're just so thankful that we were able to meet.
Yes.
I feel like in social media world, right, you really don't find like really genuine friendships, and
You're making my hands sweaty.
and even in life, I feel like it's hard to find genuine friendships, and to be
Yeah.
able to find or to have this friendship through social media, it's like so crazy to me.
Oh, you guys.
So we're so thankful for you.
I love you guys so much. Can I tell them a story really quick about how I knew that you guys are really nice people? Last year at VidCon, it was like 100 degrees and I was panicking because I didn't know where to check in. And then I ran into them and I'd only met them once before that. And I just ran up to them and I was like, guys, where do you check in? And they were like, oh, I think it's just down that way. And they're like, we can watch your stuff for you if you want. And I was like, really? Would that be okay? Because I had so many bags and stuff. And they just like watched it outside and I was gone for like an hour and I was freaking out. And I was like, I don't even know, like, is that okay? Because the line was so long and they just waited out there in the hot heat for an hour with my bag. And then I came back and they weren't even mad at me. They were just joyous. And they were like, did you find it okay? So nice. That was so nice. I'll never forget it. Yeah.
Well, if anyone out there needs us to protect your bags,
It was
we're
really
good.
nice.
We're good for that.
Yeah. They're really like they're really like the nicest people I've ever met in my
Okay,
life. Like
that's enough.
no. Wait,
Thank
let
you.
me say my piece. They're really the nicest people I've ever met in my life. And like seriously so kind. And it's so rare that you meet people who are just kind for no reason, like just other than just being kind. Like they don't want anything from you. They just want to be kind because they're kind. Like that's such a rare quality, you know? It's like so untransactional, like the way that you guys have kindness and like compassion.
We feel the same way about you.
You know, it's just so beautiful. And even my sister who they just met was like, those people are so nice. And I'm like,
Oh, we love your sister.
know. I'm like, and my sister doesn't really feel that comfortable on people right away, but you guys made her feel really, really comfortable because you guys are so nice. And she loved you guys.
Well, I'm just so thankful that we
glad,
could
yeah.
all be friends and
Yeah.
hang out.
Japanese. Yeah. Did you guys know that they're like 6th generation, 100% Japanese? That's so rare.
I guess it is kind of rare, huh?
Yeah. I'm like off topic, but fun facts about Ryan and
This
Daniel.
is the longest outro we've ever had.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I guess we should go.
But thank you so much, Hina.
Thank you guys.
You're the best. And we'll see you guys tomorrow on TikTok. And we'll see you guys next Saturday or Sunday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
We'll see you on the
Period.
TikTok.
God
you
bless you guys.
online.
See ya. Love ya.
Bye. God bless you, America.